Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. It is Thursday, March the 28th, 2019, and we just made it in time. Jeff just sprinting up those stairs, getting a quick little tinkle in, couple bottles of water. Hopes and dreams today, guys. We are running at speeds never before seen.
We have been in this like constant state of rush today.
Yes,
because
everything.
we got some StarCraft casted, and then during the StarCraft cast, or after the StarCraft cast, we realized that Adam didn't have the effects on for his microphone, but he did for mine. So those are going to sound hilariously different. The first three are going to sound a little weird. And then we obviously have to boot up the podcast for 4 o'clock or 3 p.m. Eastern. But then we remembered that we got a new camera. Well, it's actually Adam's camera.
It's my camera. We're just swapping it out to try and help with the lighting situation. This one works a bit better with the low light that we have. Well, it's not even low light in this room. It's just the other camera needs a shitload of light.
Yeah, I know. The room looks a little bit more yellow right now because the camera, and it's all yellow lights above us.
Yeah, the difference in color temperature. I'm not going to dick with it too much. I mean, I might do it on OBS for next week. Yeah. Because I don't want to have to also change all my settings on the camera, then bring it back home, change them all over again.
I don't know if it'll help if you turn down the lighting a tad bit, because right now they're on full blast. That might help out a little bit in terms of the
something like that.
The brightness, yeah. But we'll figure it out. It was literally last minute. So there we go.
Oh, sorry, John Cena. So we had a lot of new shit happening.
We got all kinds of new shit. So first, we got a new tripod.
Yes.
Adam's camera.
My camera.
We've got new overlays.
New start. And the end screen actually says that it's the end screen now.
Yes.
We had a lower third that you guys probably saw pop up here not too long ago.
Yes.
All of that kind of crammed into a very busy day with not a lot of time, and so some weird shit has happened.
Yes.
But we're here.
Yeah.
And this is going to be a bit of a winged podcast. Normally I write up the, not a script, but like a bullet point of all the things that we're going to talk about for the day, based on stuff that I saw through the week, and then based on stuff that people on my Discord community have popped up. I always ask them, hey, what's up? You guys have anything? And so we're going to rely on what's in my head and what's on this Discord.
There's stuff to talk about, because there's obviously Article 13.
There's some easy points.
Borderlands just announced a card game.
Just happened.
There was another PAX East is going on right now, so there's things to talk about.
Yes.
First things first, big thank you everybody that's tuning in. We officially surpassed $2,500 on our Patreon. We're moving on up, man. So thank you guys so much. Like, the podcasts have been doing really well. All the numbers are going up. I think moving this live stream to YouTube was a really good idea, which we should have done like a year ago. But hey, we're here. So big thank you to everybody that's become a new Patreon supporter. We just cast some StarCraft, and after this podcast, we're going to cast some more StarCraft, and then I have a voiceover gig to do with a client. So we've been kind of in a rush, and we added some new things. Like we said, we've got the new camera. Lighting actually seems to be looking a lot better now too. Now that you've turned those down a little bit, looks way better. Also, we have make sure to follow us on all of our socials, because now we have that stuff popping up here on the screen somewhere. And also now on the live stream, we have set up Super Chats. So Super Chats is basically just a way to donate live on stream. Adam and I will both see it in the on the chat along with everybody else.
Yes.
And then if you guys want to shoot us a question or something on a podcast like today that we don't have an actual much of a structure, then you can go ahead and do that too.
Absolutely.
So yeah, how was your week?
Lots going. Wow, it was a week. So I basically just, like, if I wasn't streaming, so Brian and I. Well, let's back it up. So I as I mentioned last week, I finished Mass Effect 1, and so I was looking for a game to kind of bridge me between Mass Effect 1 and 2. I didn't want to necessarily play Mass Effect 1, 2, 3, because the games are really good, but you're not doing a lot in them. It's kind of like watching a visual novel, and so like
you need a break.
And they're pretty long. So like 8 hours of that shit a day until you're done all the games, you get brain dead. So
Yes.
I was trying to mix it up a little bit, and I was going to mix it up with Sekiro. Played Sekiro on Friday, and played it for about, I think it was 5 or 6 hours.
Mm-hmm.
Then the first 2 hours were unadulterated fire.
So we'll talk. Give a brief, because we can talk about that game as a point, because I have been playing it too. So
okay.
I've got a perspective.
You've got some I played that for 2 hours or several hours, and then again on Saturday. Brian's a really big Dark Souls guy, really big Dark Souls fan, and because of where he's working like 2 hours outside the city. So when he's not working, he's at my place on the weekends, and we're doing the shitty games done slow on the weekends. So I knew he wasn't going to be able to play this game for like fucking forever. So we asked the community. I was like, hey guys, you mind if we play this, because it's still going to be Brian and I cursing, because it's, the game's going to be kicking our ass or whatever. And everyone was like, yeah, fucking thumbs up. So we played that for 9 hours. Brian we'll talk more, but Brian came to the same conclusions I did. He agreed with everything that I said. And long story short, we're back to Two Worlds. So did that on the weekend. And then other than that, I've literally, when I've not been doing some stuff like for the podcast, like getting the master list for the shipment stuff and all that whatnot, I'm finally basically like 99% done setting up the new phone.
The dream.
Swapping everything over. However, on Saturday, here's my little story for the phone. So I bought my phone outright on Amazon, right? Because I did that with my last phone too, because you end up paying a little less. And by a little, I mean
a lot.
Significantly less. And it's unlocked. So I wasn't on contract anywhere, and I like the freedom if I needed to for any reason, just be like, fuck it, move on to the next guy. So I looked up, as always, the only thing you generally have to do is make sure that it's the model that supports the wireless bands that your carrier has, or whatever carrier you might be wanting to go to in the future. In Canada, it's pretty easy because the international model covers Bell, Rogers, you're good. In fact, the model that I bought was the same exact model that they were selling in Bell and Eastlink. So I'd gotten that, and I had held that like partially set up, and I go in to get my new SIM card because Eastlink is using Volt now instead of just 4G LTE, and has been for a while, but I never upgraded my SIM card like almost a year ago when they messaged me to be like, hey, come in and get your new SIM card. So I wanted to do that because of new phone. So I go in, swaps it out, whatever. I head on out to give the propagation time for the new one, make sure it works. So I'm eating some little Thai food, because Thai food's fucking delicious there at the food court, having a little Thai. And then I only get about 5 bites in, I realize that the phone is actually connected, but it's only giving me 4G. It's not even giving me LTE. And I was like, all right, it's a little fucky. So I go back upstairs. And he's like, so you bought this phone through us? No, I was like, no, it was unlocked. And he goes, oh, that's the problem. And he said, I wish I had asked that before, because now your old SIM card obviously is
gone,
is canceled.
Yeah.
Like you can't just re-enable a SIM card. We don't have any of the old SIM cards anymore.
Rip.
Anywhere.
Rip.
And so you have only 4G, and you can't get Volt, because even though it's the same model, the way that it's worked out is Samsung is selling Eastlink and other carriers in the States and Canada as well, firmware flashed Note 9s for Volt. It's the only phone in the Samsung lineup that needs it.
Rip.
You can get down to an S6
Rip.
with Volt.
Give it.
With an over-the-air update. Eastlink doesn't have an over-the-air update, so it's fucked.
Rip.
So I was like, all right, so my options are I go to Bell, I pay $40 more a month just to get to 4G LTE again. That's rough. Or I said, what do I do if I get this phone with you guys right now? I put it on the tab. I found this out. This is not a plug for Eastlink, but this is just fucking batshit. And this is why Eastlink's doing so well as far as customer base. If you do their Easy Tab thing, you pay no money down on the phone. Literally $0. And by the end of the 2-year contract, you own the phone. It's a finance. If you buy this phone outright at Eastlink, it's $1,399 before tax. You get on Easy Tab, $900.
Some savings.
2 years. You own the phone 2 years. It's not like I'm going to switch carriers in 2 years anyway.
No.
You get the same prices I bought on Amazon, but with theirs. But wait, there's more. It was on sale. So it's going to save an extra $10 a month over the 2 years.
Dream.
But wait, there's more. He goes, I feel bad about this situation. I'm going to give you some more off on this phone. It's like, okay.
Hold up. Adam, hold up. We ain't getting paid for this.
Hi.
We ain't getting paid for this promotion right now because it's getting real.
he felt bad, but also he knew who we were. So
you played that.
I didn't know. I didn't play that.
I didn't know. I didn't know we still had
we have some pull.
We didn't know we had some worth on the streets.
No, he felt really bad about the fact that he didn't ask about the SIM card. So anyway, it was $25 a month in savings over 2 years.
Sign me up.
So the phone was actually going to be about $700.
Great.
Half the price, basically, of the phone.
Bro, you
outright.
could just go and sell your old phone and make profit.
And that's what I said. So I was like, I could just either try and send mine back because I got through Amazon. They'll take back. They're like fucking
they're Walmart.
They'll take back pretty much anything unless it's
when
literally
you're that big,
broken.
you kind of just have to.
You just do it.
Yeah.
So I was like, I'll just sell this. Worst case scenario, I'll sell it locally, and it will be at worst a wash.
Yes.
And then on top of that, because I'm saving so much money a month, I get the phone protection for like replacement and everything, which is $15 a month. But since I'm saving $25, I'm still saving $10 a month on top of that.
There it is. That's the dream.
Boom. I was there for 4 hours. It was a long day. I didn't get to eat my Thai food for like 3 of those 4 hours, and it was kind of awkward. I wasn't really ready to go to the mall for long periods of time. I thought it was going to be the in and out, so I was kind of scrubby. My face is all fucked up.
Good.
I was in like my scrub clothes because I was just thinking I was going to be in and out. I was sitting
it's the
there.
story of my life.
Dude, I must have looked like a homeless guy. I was sitting in East Link's fucking wireless store, eating Thai food, cold Thai food.
Oh, you're that guy. Hey, sir, no loitering, sir. Sir, no loitering.
So it was a little silly. Other than that, that's been my week. So it's been basically just I'm still trying to catch up with technical alpha stuff, but that's pretty much getting there and then getting this phone set up, and I'm fucking all smiles, bro. Like I said before, I feel like I'm in 3019 with this phone, even though it came out in August or some shit.
The dream.
So yeah, living it big. How was your week?
Well, it hasn't been as eventful. Managed to dump $2,200 into my truck, so that happened. Had to get that safetied for the next few years, but it's all ready and good for another couple of seasons. Just been grinding away.
Just keep that thought up.
Okay, yeah. What?
Nope.
Huh?
I'm just testing.
Huh?
Nope.
Nope.
All right.
But yeah, I've just been grinding, playing a bunch of random shit, kind of in that streamer limbo right now, where there's nothing to play. Like, there's just nothing that just interests you, which is the worst feeling ever. It's like it's this being lost.
Especially if you don't have a main game that's backing it up in the first place.
Yeah. So, just doing that. Been doing a lot of voiceover stuff, so that's been going well. Been getting pretty much almost a gig every day at this point, which has been pretty. It's starting to like snowball. So after we're done the podcast, we'll cast a little bit more StarCraft, and I got a directed session for 2 commercials.
Nice.
They're just short, 16 to 30-second commercials that are be playing in the States regionally somewhere for a year. So doing that. And finished the video game voiceover. Still can't say which game it is.
No more frag outs.
No more frag outs. I will say this. It for those that didn't know, it's a first-person military shooter that is very realistic. I'll give another hint.
Oh.
The game is already out. It's been out for a while.
Oh, man.
And I am basically going to be patched into the game. There's some new content coming. I'm going to be patched in.
You're the downloadable content.
There's going to be a little update via Steam.
You're the horse armor.
Yes, I am the horse. Well, not quite. But yeah, so that happened, and that's been pretty much it. No crazy stuff. Baby Kai's getting bigger. He just had his 1 month checkup couple days ago, and he's officially 10 pounds 12 ounces, so he's getting big.
He's caught up to my birth weight.
He's in the 97th percentile for length, so he is a tall baby. 97th percentile.
So he's in my percentile, but he finally got up to my birth weight.
Yes, he's just chunkier.
Or
no, I guess.
No, he's literally, I was 10 3/4 at birth.
Oh shit. Okay, well then.
Mom birthed the Cadillac.
Well, yeah, then you were big. Yeah, Kai was 8 and 3.
So he's just a little under. The percentile must have shifted because I was 95.
Yeah, well, he's 97 for length, not weight. His height.
Yeah, because I was 24 inches at birth.
At birth he was 20. I think he was 20.5.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay,
but
so he's shifted since birth then,
and he's
quite substantially.
He's growing fucking
quick.
He's growing, man. Like every day I pick him up and my arms shift a little bit more. He's just getting bigger and bigger. Yeah, it's crazy. But yeah, so it's all good. We had a couple of shitty nights because of his growth spurt, but beyond that, everything is peachy. What do we got on the game in front? What's going on? We gonna start with the big one?
Absolutely.
Let's just get into it.
Let's get right into it, Jeff.
Article 13.
13's an unlucky number in more ways than one.
Yeah.
If you're watching in Europe right now, buy a VPN and then hope that they don't turn into China and ban VPNs. That's your options right now.
So for those that don't know what Article 13 is, Adam,
yes.
can you fill them in on what this means?
Okay, I'll try and keep it simple. Otherwise, I could run on for a long time.
Super simple, bro.
And it's obviously everywhere, so if they really want to know the fine nitty-gritty about it,
yes,
not hard for them to figure it out.
Let's keep it in the layman's terms.
So let's keep it on the super high level, kind of macro level here. So Article 13 is dog shit. It's everything and more that North America has basically tried to stop their internet service providers and government from implementing in terms of free and open internet. Let's put it this way. You know how every old rich white guy that's been in old media has been desperately trying to turn new media into something that they could continue to make the same amount of money that they made on old media?
Yes, I know those.
Okay, so that happened, but it actually went through now.
Great.
So they're looking at the internet going, get off my lawn, and they're like, we want to make sure that they're blanketing it as everything. So it's like, we want to protect the small artists out there and make sure that nobody's shit gets stolen. And in reality, it's just so that a few guys can make an absolute fuck ton of money.
Oh, endless
on
amounts
licensing.
of cash.
So they're implementing a thing that's basically like imagine YouTube's content filter.
Yes.
Except applied to literally everything.
Yes.
And worse than YouTube's content filter.
Yes.
That's the
no more GIFs, no more memes, no more nothing. Just
remember when you went to school and every time you did a book report, you had to do a bibliography, and it was everyone's least favorite thing in the world to do?
Yes.
Imagine having to do a bibliography every time you did a goddamn meme. That's pretty much where we're at right now, except you also had to pay for the bibliography. So it's...
That's rough.
It's bad.
Yeah.
What does it mean though? What does it mean for like the people watching? What does it mean for
content
in general
providers?
Content creators and stuff? It means that not only from a content creator perspective, but also as a viewing perspective, they could be locking down large swaths of content because it all comes back on the, let's say, website owners. So Twitch, YouTube, stuff of that nature, social media websites. If somebody who's a user of their site does something that's outside the bounds, it falls on the website.
Yep.
And which sounds great, but what that means is that when a website is as big as Twitch or YouTube and you physically cannot keep up with the amount of shit that's going on, is that what they tend to end up leaning towards is just pulling out of that entirely and saying, fuck it, because it's either we're going to get litigated into the ground, or we're just going to stop this entirely and cut it off.
Yeah, so it just means, if you want to become a streamer, if you want to become a YouTube provider at some point, which this doesn't go out for another 2 years. So this isn't happening tomorrow. It's a 2-year wait.
2-year window.
2-year window. But essentially what Adam is saying, or at least what I'm getting from it, is there is a very high probability that all the streaming services that you love or content that you watch, they just won't even allow you to sign up. They won't allow you to create an account. They won't allow you to log to log in, all that stuff. Now, obviously, there are things like VPNs, but we don't know exactly. Listen, if you are a VPN, if you're a VPN owner, like if you're like one of those companies,
you're salivating right now.
You are absolutely loving it. You're upgrading your servers yesterday. You are praying to the gods that this goes through.
Them, because if not, they're going to be congested as shit.
The amount of money VPN services are going to make over like when this shit goes through is going to be something unholy. You want to get rich tomorrow? Start a VPN company. and be the best one out there.
I think you already needed to have a VPN.
Yes, you definitely did.
But
invest in a VPN company.
Invest in a VPN, yeah.
And sit and wait.
So it's really bad. Twitch has been putting out emails upon emails upon emails leading up to this, trying to get people who are in Europe and otherwise to contact their representatives, make sure to try and stop it if they can. There was something like a handful, I can't remember how many of them there were, but it was not a small number. In fact, I think it might have been enough of a number that it could have swayed the vote. Apparently came out and said they didn't even know what they were voting for, and they made like the wrong vote. This whole thing's a fucking crapshoot, dude. It's and this is what pisses me off.
Do you think it's
about
like rigged? Do you think it's like people set this shit up? I don't think
it's rigged. Here's the deal. We're in a weird fucking transitional period everywhere in the world, here, there, pretty much everywhere, where the people that are making the fucking world go round at a level on the internet of innovation and creating new stuff and really bridging all the gaps and
breaking
new
the mold.
Media. That's our generation.
Yeah.
It's people under the age of, let's say, 40, 40 and under. The people making legislation and enacting law and forcing all the other shit are 40 and older.
Yep.
And some of them, I'm not going to say all of them, because some of them are actually really well informed and are very good about it because they were there when the internet hit mainstream and they were part of it and they kept up with it. They know exactly. In fact, some of them know more than you or I would.
Of course. Well, they better if they're the ones fucking making the decisions out there.
Exactly.
Holy shit.
Unfortunately, when stuff like this pops up, barely any of them do their due diligence. They know fucking dick. If you went back and watched when they grilled the guy from Google here in the States.
I remember that shit, yeah.
And you heard the questions coming out of their mouth, and God bless that guy for not laughing or getting pissed off about the questions, because just the thought of the fact that those are the people making the decisions that affect something that they literally have no concept of. They don't know how it works.
Yeah.
They thought there was like some dude like the Wizard of fucking Oz behind a curtain choosing fucking search results.
Yeah.
And that immediately tells you they don't even know the volume of data moving through Google at any given second.
Yeah. It's almost like Trump being president.
It's the same shit for Article 13.
Yes.
You've got a whack of people who are already in the EU, to my and somebody can correct me if I'm wrong, but a lot of the people that are put in the EU aren't even technically voted in by the population. They're brought in through some bureaucratic fuckery. So it's not even really representation by the people a lot of the time with the EU, and then they're also uninformed, making decisions that impact the second largest body.
Yeah. It's crazy.
On Earth.
It's crazy.
Influential for the internet.
Yes, the internet.
A decision that could literally set somebody back. If this goes in, the thing about government anywhere is that as soon as something's in, it is a bitch to get out.
Yeah.
It's hard to get something started, but once it's in, it's tough to get out.
That's what she said.
You know what I mean?
Oh, trust me, I know. Baby Kai's upstairs.
So it's like this kind of decision, the only saving grace is those I haven't followed up exactly or with it today or what's going on, but those people that said that they don't know that they voted right or whatever, it's possible that shit sways it back into the no-fly zone.
I hope.
I don't know exactly if that's a possibility yet, anymore, but if it is, great. If it isn't, fuck. The other thing is that there's the 2-year period. People are already out in the hundreds of thousands of places like Germany protesting this shit, and they don't give a fuck. They're saying that these people are paid for or bots online, and that the people really want this shit. That's where we're fucking at. They're pulling some China shit right now. I'm not fucking with you. I'm not being salacious. I'm not being sensational. That's what you've got in the EU right now is you've got a handful of people, literally, from the internet's perspective, you're a step away from fucking China!
Yep. Yes.
But you can't even tell people to go and do something about it because they are.
Yes.
This isn't North America where everyone sits on the couch and goes, man, I wish we could change this, and nobody ever gets the fuck out of the house and does anything. This is Europe where for a few thousand years they get out and burn shit to the fucking ground.
Oh, if this gets passed, imagine the riots, bruh.
They were already run. They were
Yes.
already.
Yes.
There's like 150,000 in Germany, for fuck's sake. Like, this is already like.
Anyway,
It doesn't matter.
Time to move. That's what it will be. It'll be.
Where are
I'm
you
getting the
gonna
fuck.
go?
I'm getting the fuck out of my country.
There's some people making the joke. Well, Brexit somehow is like going in the right direction right now. Like, coincidentally leaving the EU right before this shit happens.
Yeah, it's like, yeah.
But the UK's also cracked down on porn, so it's like, well, fuck. I mean, we still get the internet, but we don't get porn, but we also don't have medication.
May as well just get rid of the internet if we don't have porn.
Yeah,
Fuck
just
it.
fuck it.
Holy shit.
So
yeah.
that's an entire gong show
Yeah.
over there, bro.
Yeah, I feel bad for all the content providers out there, content creators, and just the people that enjoy content too, because this is going to really affect them in just about every conceivable way. Everything that most of us do is via the internet. So it's going to be interesting, and like you said, there's going to be a few people that are going to get very, very rich from having this decision being made. But there are going to be millions and millions and millions of The Rock's fans of people angry. Yeah, that's just.
Well done.
Yeah, thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah. So anyway, that's the shitstorm.
Dude, it's fucking bad. So like for Twitch, you know, I mean, they're like, we haven't heard from Twitch yet.
No.
We've heard a lot leading up to this.
Well, they're out there making these posts saying, like, you know, fight against it, you know,
Yeah.
blah, blah, blah.
But since it's been announced that it went through, we haven't heard anything from Twitch yet.
Yeah.
No emails have gone out, so we don't know what. And Twitch has obviously been working, I'm assuming, on an action plan here, but we don't know what it is. We don't know what YouTube's action plan is. We don't know anything. All we know is that they've been screaming bloody murder about it leading up to it. So even if they have an action plan,
Dude,
what that actually entails.
I think what's going to happen is all the content providers that are out of those areas, bye-bye.
And viewers.
And viewers.
Fucked.
Yeah. All of it. Gone. That's what, because like you said, there's no way they can do individual cases for every single thing. It's just not going to happen. They're just going to say, hey, it's a complete ban. And that way, if anybody tries to go after them legally, they say, listen, we don't allow these people on there. If they're doing it, they're breaking your law. We don't have anything. We can't control if somebody's, you know, logging in or using a VPN or whatever. You know, that's something that's out of our hands. So it's really unfortunate. Not only is that going to hurt the people that are making the content, but anybody that wants to view it. And that's going to have a huge trickle-down effect. I mean, just the amount of viewers that I have that are European alone.
50%.
Oh, easy. Between 40 and 50.
Yeah.
Easy.
Well, you know what the scarier thing is? Now that Europe has gone ahead and done this, and shout-outs to Europe for that bullshit.
Yep.
Is that, you know what that means? They're going to be trying it here again.
Don't even. Don't even. You know what?
You know what a Jeep Pie in the States is doing right now? Feverishly masturbating in that giant Reese's peanut butter cup fucking mug that he's got laying around. Just jerking his micro dick into it. That punchable big tooth buck tooth motherfucker sitting there just spanking into that goddamn mug.
Dude.
With a little fucking smirk on his face.
Bro.
Waiting for it. The opportunity.
No, if the internet goes down here, well, it'll give me the reason to get the fuck off the internet and just get the fuck off this fucking world. I'd be like, I'm done, bro. I'm going out. I'm pulling a Brock Lesnar. I'm going out to fucking Saskatchewan, and I'm going out in the woods, and I'm living there, and I'm having animals around me, and that's it. My kid, wife, and animals, and I'm starting a pilgrimage.
Dude, I'm so. I said this when I was over at Mom and Dad's the other night. I said, no offense when I say this, but old people need to die. Mom looked at me and she's like, oh.
Thank God your grandmother couldn't hear you.
Well, Mom said, you know, your grandmother's in the other room. I was like, yeah, well, you know what I mean when I say that.
Yes.
But like, no offense, but the shit's getting fucking dumb now.
Yeah, bro.
Like, come on.
They don't. It's not even that they. Well, yeah, they do need to die. Because they're creating problems.
Or at least
they
get
just
the
need
fuck
to be.
out of
Yeah,
politics.
they need to be removed from their positions if they're not being educated on what exactly they're going on about. Because the problem is technology is moving so quickly, and the old folks are all set in their ways. And I'm not saying that some of them can't change their mind, but the vast majority of them don't want to take the time to understand something new. Sometimes they just don't get it because they aren't up to date on like the changes and stuff like that, and they're just set in their ways, man. It's kind of like this. It's kind of like this thing where we're always people are like, you know, old racist people just need to die, right? Because eventually, there'll always be racism or whatever, but eventually when those people that were taught a certain way or have a certain belief, theoretically over time it should go down, right? And it should be the same way
theoretically.
I know, but it's still it's still there. But I'm trying to make an analogy here. But you know what I'm saying?
Yes, absolutely.
You cut out the weeds. Eventually, the new generation will start having offspring which is a whole new slew of problems in itself.
Or you get Justin Trudeau. Which you hope was like at that that right age range where it was like it's gonna happen. Then he got in, and he's such a fucking idiot.
Oh, he's a fuck. Anyway, don't even get me going on that. Don't even get me going on that. But great stuff. Not really. We'll see. 2 years from now, we will see what happens. I'm sure there'll be updates as we get closer and closer to the deadline. I mean, it just got announced, so it's fresh. The wounds are there. Feeling pretty bad for our European friends. And when I say pretty bad, I mean I'm feeling pretty fucking horrible.
Yeah, I'm angry for them.
Yes. Straight up.
Yeah,
straight up.
I'm angry for them.
Before we get into the next segment, guys, if you haven't already, hit that like button. It really helps out the podcast. On the last podcast, we had 600 likes. Amazing. Let's go ahead and try and get 650 this podcast. So if you're enjoying the podcast, hit that like button, hit that notification bell so you know when we go live. And for algorithm purposes, leave a comment in the comment section, even if that comment is comment. Just do whatever you got to do. And if you guys want to support the Patreon, link is in the description, patreon.com/lagtv. We are getting ready to ship out products, man. Adam got all the lists done.
I got the list done so far. There are some people that didn't quite get... I know it looks like I'm on my phone, like messaging. I'm actually on my phone for the list of shit because I don't have it on the computer right now. But the list is there. There are some people I messaged back to get more information because they didn't get quite all of the
like
information.
a phone number or postal code or something.
Like a phone number or postal code, stuff like that. But I've got pretty much the list set up. I'll have to figure out a way of how we're going to do labeling and stuff like that. But at least I have the list so that when we do have them shipped, we'll be able to knock that out.
We got all the tubes, all the supplies, everything is here. So very, very soon, guys, we're shipping it all out, which means if you are a $100 tier or above, you get all of the Technical Alpha merch along with a bunch of different perks content-wise on the Patreon. Or if you have accumulated $100 plus, even if you're $1, $5, $10, $25, and you've accumulated more than $100 of support throughout the lifetime of your Patreon membership, you also get products and everything shipped to you. So be sure to message us on Patreon all of your information, and that way that's your full name, your address, phone number, and then we can get that stuff sent out to you as well. Shipments are happening very soon. It's all very real.
Very soon, comparatively speaking, to the length of time it's taken us to get to this point.
It's been a journey.
But hey, now it's in our hands, and now we get to do it.
That's right.
It's going to be done.
All kinds of changes happening.
It's just all happening so quick. I think next week I'll take one of the bulbs out that we were trying to use to brighten it up even more, and I think that will be just enough.
Perfect.
To get that set up.
Yeah, we'll get it all good.
We'll make the magic happen.
Hit that like button. What's next?
What's next is, this is a little bit of an odd one that popped up, but I can kind of see why it would happen. But it's hard to say what the contract was in the first place. Microsoft is starting to scrub Notch's name from Minecraft in places that it shows up. For example, the splash screen at the beginning when it showed up, Notch's name used to be there, and it's gone.
Well, he doesn't own it anymore.
No, but as the creator, he's just getting slowly worked out of the system, and it's probably because Notch has gotten
he's
a
crazy.
little.
Well, he's got that
a little vocal on the Twitter.
Well, he's got that type of fuck you money where he just
goes.
I mean, listen, if you get paid billions of dollars,
and he did.
And you go and you buy the biggest house in Beverly Hills.
And he did.
And at this point, you answer to nobody.
And he doesn't.
You become Notch, and you give zero complete fucks.
He has a vast field empty of fucks.
He's like Elon Musk.
Yeah.
Where he's like, I'm going to say what I want and troll. Except that, well,
possibly a bigot, quite possibly a little transphobic, quite possibly a bit of a tinfoil hat conspirator.
I didn't see that part, but I do know he's great. Time to just start slowly scratching the name off those
allegedly.
Allegedly. Yeah, better say that.
Allegedly.
It's not like our money is gonna come after our money anyway.
But like allegedly.
Yeah.
Like so I don't follow him on Twitter, but that's been the talk about it, and then people have been showing like clips of his social media over time, and he's definitely said some stuff that would border a lot of that for sure. And so odds are enough people could have messaged Microsoft and said, hey.
Yeah. Or they may not have messaged them at all. Obviously, there's people that in Microsoft that follow what he says.
That's also possible.
And they're probably going, and
maybe we should
start slowly just doing, like, let's not go out and publicly tell, like, let's not make this a thing. Let's just kind of pull it back a little bit here until eventually he is completely out of this. Because Minecraft, which I actually played yesterday, which is, Minecraft's an awesome game. It's just so relaxed. Minecraft is a relaxing, awesome game.
Until you get blown up by a creeper.
That'll piss you off when you've got a handful of diamonds.
Happens.
And it happens.
To the best of us.
But I don't even know where I was going with that at this point. But Minecraft at this point for Microsoft is still making
untold amounts of money.
Boats of money. So they better protect
big money.
Their investment. It's just the way
his
she
name
goes.
is still, like, let me clarify, his name's still in the credits. It's just that they scrubbed him off the title screen, and I mean, if they did that, I'm not trying to like make this a big like crazy conspiratorial whatever,
Fuck
whatever.
It, we're doing it.
But if they did that, odds are that might be like a foot in the door. And then they just like, the vacuum cleaner salesman is like, no, I don't want a foot in the door. Ma'am, let me talk to you just for 5 more seconds here.
Yeah.
And then just kick that fucking door open.
Bang. Buy it now.
Get in.
For the 3 easy payments of $29.99.
And then they scrub them from the credits. Right? Like, it's possible. Lord knows what their contract was when they did that, but if they spent $2 billion or $1 billion or whatever it was,
it's kind of like George Lucas, right?
Then
but they're still using Lucas's name, obviously, which is probably part of the
deal.
The deal,
yeah.
like
he doesn't want to be completely separated from it. He still wants it, the world to know that Georgie boy. Was,
I just think I don't follow Notch, but I'm gonna assume, like, I've seen and heard some things that he said on Twitter where people were retweeting shit and stuff, and I'm like, whoa, Notch is angry.
Often.
Yes, I just think what it is, and I don't know, I'm just, for the sake of speculating, he's just too rich. He's too rich. He's probably got too much time on his hands, and what do you do? What do you do when you make that much money so young, and then what else is there? Literally, what else are you going to do? And you're on an internet that is just fucking. And we're in a world now where everything can just piss you off.
Yep.
And you've got so much money and power at this point. If you want to just speak your mind, whether it's right or wrong, you just fucking do it. It's what are you gonna? What the fuck are you gonna do?
You go to the candy wall that you have in your 50 million square foot mansion.
Yes.
You pop out a few candies.
Yes.
You sit down in front of your projector screen in-house
your
theater.
IMAX.
And then you start typing out tweets on your IMAX screen. That's what you do. As any sane, normal person would do.
I'm going to be perfectly honest with you, Adam.
Yes.
If I had billions of dollars
you'd be doing the same
in my
shit.
motherfucking Beverly Hills mansion, I had the biggest dick in Beverly Hills, and I'm just looking at the internet and the way the internet is right now. I'm saying some shit on Twitter, too. I don't give a fuck. That's the way. Now, I wouldn't be saying any transphobic type, crazy shit like that, but, I'd say some shit.
Yeah, you get less, you worry less about pissing people off for talking about politics or things of that nature. Yeah.
Yeah, if you're just
you try not to be an asshole to other human beings, but you just kind of speak your mind.
You know what, Notch? He comes into the game's done quick thing, and he drops like 50 G's every single time, and then he just rides off into the sunset.
And by the time that the donation goes through and it gets read, he's already made another 50 G's.
Yes, in interest alone.
Exactly. So,
whatever.
Fuck it.
Holy shit.
Jeff, Valve wants to read your brainwaves.
Suck my dick. How does that sound?
And if you could take a guess as to why they're interested in reading your brainwaves, why do you think they'd like to do that?
I don't know, to control your mind.
Well, In a weird way, yes, that's kind of what they were doing. They're hoping to know exactly what kind of rewards in games that you respond positively to or not, so that they can more adequately get your shit hooked on phonics in video games.
Oh my god, dude.
Yeah.
Well, I can tell you, it's not loot crates. Get rid of them.
No, that's not it.
You want to know how to hook me, Steam? Make good games. Make good games that aren't battle royales. Stop making card games because you're really shit at doing that. And become better. That's really it.
Just wild.
You're not getting my brainwaves. How do you even collect somebody's brainwaves? They coming out with special helmets?
Well, they already have it. We can already read brainwaves, brain activity. We can even tell
from
what areas of your brain are.
Well, I understand that, but where are they putting the shit in their Oculus? Like, are they when you put the shit on? Like,
let's go with yeah.
Don't do that. Don't do that. Stop, Steam. The last thing you need to worry about right now is my motherfucking brainwaves, and you start worrying about Epic because they're coming for that ass. So stop worrying about the brainwaves.
Yeah, exactly. Oh, right. Hot on the heels of Google coming out with Stadia, ask your doctor about it. Apple announced that they also have some game stuff coming.
Saw that.
That was the most Apple-ass commercial I've seen in a long time. When Google came out and did Stadia, they hit on just about every buzzword that they could possibly hit on. Apple said, hold my beer. Not only do I got some buzzwords for you, but I've got like super campy, stereotypical business B-roll footage to hook you up with.
Steven Spielberg.
Bro.
Oprah.
They came out in the beginning of that shit and were like, we're bringing the visual and the audio and the controlling experience together to create something you've never seen before, which has never been said by any developer in the history of video games ever.
It's in every presentation.
Nobody's ever said that. We're making unimaginable experiences.
Oh, Apple.
So they were doing that, and then they were awkwardly, like half of the time they were talking about how they, in a weird way, without directly saying it, like promoting non-violent video games. And then there were like, so there was a moment in that where a person literally came out and said, we're trying not to add more chaos into the world, and then with our games. And then the next cut into the next segment of that commercial was a game about a post-apocalyptic.
They didn't think that one through.
So it's not a streaming service like Stadia.
No.
It's a platform for games that you will need to own Apple devices for, that nobody's ever going to want to buy an Apple device for, specifically to play these games. And even people that own Apple devices are probably only going to be barely interested in playing these games, unless they plan on getting this shit on other platforms outside their ecosystem, which is Apple, so the odds of that are almost zero. Who gives an actual flying fuck? The closest thing to impressed I was in all of that was that they managed to give the creator of Final Fantasy enough money to show up and go, yeah, I'll make a game for you guys.
That was it.
And that was the entire show.
Yeah,
Other than that...
But here's the thing. The creator of Final Fantasy hasn't made a good game in I don't know how long. Or at least a game that has spoken to me. So they need to write a bigger check.
No. This is the original Final Fantasy creator.
Oh.
The OG.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh, so they brought out the checkbook.
They brought out the checkbook.
Okay.
And he's making some...
A new IP?
Yes.
Okay.
Visually interesting. Basically, their whole thing is they're building models for every screen of the game and photographing them and whatnot, and then imposing stuff over top of it. It's a very interesting look and feel. Unfortunately, it might be locked up on Apple. Other than that, everything else about that...
Well...
And it's gone for me.
I got an Apple.
The only Apple product I have is the free iPad mini that I received when I went and changed banks. And that will continue to be the only Apple product that I likely own for a very, very long time.
Wishbone with the $2 super chat. It's going down in history as the first super chat ever.
Congrats, Wishbone.
He said Valve should give back Left 4 Dead to Turtle Rock Studios.
Well, they could, but Turtle Rock or whatever the OG creators or a band of them anyway, an offshoot of them are already. We talked about this last podcast, making Back for Blood.
Back for Dead, we call it.
Back for Dead, we call it because it's just so.
Back for Dead 3.
Yeah.
Great.
So that's the thing. What was the next
Borderlands.
thing we had? Borderlands 3. That happened while we were recording StarCraft.
Yes.
So I think you might know a little bit more than I do about it.
I watched the trailer.
Okay. How was it?
More Borderlands.
I'm shocked.
It literally just looks like more Borderlands. But the thing that kind of threw me off guard was they also announced a Borderlands card game called let me see, Pinky's. Let me see, Border. We're doing it live here, guys, because this literally happened. Borderlands 3 card game. This is called
Tiny Tina's
something.
Tasty Tater Tots 2.
Pretty much.
The sequel.
It's a really long title.
Because it's Borderlands and they find it funny.
It's not funny. It's a long title.
It's a Borderlands meme.
Yeah. But yeah, it's called Tiny Tina's something. We'll call it Tiny Tina's. Obviously, we're not at PAX East, so we didn't get the presentation that they had for it. There is a Borderlands 3 official trailer out now, though. It's getting well received already. 57,000 likes on this bad boy. Looks like people are pretty pumped for more Borderlands, man.
Well, it's Borderlands. There's a very large community that is heavy into Borderlands, right? It's the original popularization in the newer age for the looter shooter, and everyone kind of copied them to a degree for a long time, and continued to offshoot into various things. So I'm not surprised that people are excited about it. Am I excited about it? Not like super excited. If they can make me excited about Borderlands again, I'm not against it.
No.
Because when I played Borderlands 1, I had a great time. It's just that by the time 2 rolled around, I didn't want more Borderlands yet. And I still don't know if I want more Borderlands. So if they can convince me, then all the power to them.
So it says see more April 3rd. So maybe they'll have some gameplay footage and stuff.
There you go.
On April 3rd. But yeah, the trailer is basically, it does show some in-game stuff, but very, very quick snippets of just shooting and all that fun stuff going through the different, there's a shit ton of different guns. Obviously, it's a looter shooter. Stylistically, still looks like more Borderlands. Doesn't look like graphically it's gotten any.
It's gotten a little better.
It looks a little sharper, but it.
The effects are probably the biggest change.
Probably
not because it's a cell shaded game.
Yeah.
So other than getting sharper,
it still looks like Borderlands.
Yeah.
There isn't anything that I'm like, wow, that just looks so much better. But then again, it's been so long since I even turned on Borderlands 2. Let's talk about the card game though, because Borderlands 3 is going to be Borderlands 3. Adam, do we need a Borderlands card game? I will say this: I am happy it's not a Borderlands Battle Royale. I am just.
That's a positive.
That makes
me.
Now
we don't really know yet.
Oh, God.
April 3rd.
I swear to fuck, if we get Borderlands 3, a
for
Battle Royale, and a damn card game, they are 1.5 to 2 years too late for the Battle Royale, and they're a motherfucking
4 years late
4 years late on that card game. Y'all saw what happened to, what's-it-face? Shit tier Magic the Gathering.
Valve's thing?
Yeah. I don't even know the name of it.
Artifact.
Yeah. That thing, dead.
Shartifact.
Dead. So what? So what is this?
It was also a shit video game.
It was a shit video. So it was a huge pay to win.
Yeah,
that's all it was.
So if you don't do that, you have a chance at accomplishing something.
I suppose maybe it's a good time for a card game because Hearthstone is kind of. I mean, Hearthstone's still Hearthstone.
Hearthstone always will be.
But there's no competitor. No. There's really no real competitor to Hearthstone
Magic the Gathering
now.
Arena still.
That's right. Yes,
chugging along and doing.
That's
its
right.
thing,
Yep.
But
it's doing well. Magic the Gathering is doing well.
Because it's Magic.
Yeah.
So, but is there room for another card game? I think there is. It's just nobody has done it well enough that it's moved enough people away from Hearthstone to get them interested. And a lot of that is probably because what really got Hearthstone popping in the beginning. Now it's kind of taken over on its own. was Twitch.
Yes.
So if it can get some of the content creator space moving, then at least for a short time, then it can do well. It can do, it's going to obviously pay for itself if they can at least get that moving.
We'll find out if it's going to be free to play, how much it is to buy packs, how you can earn the shit, all of it, right? Is it going to be competitive? Like, that's the thing about Magic and Hearthstone is they're two totally different card games for two totally different players. I'm not saying that you can't play both, but they're marketed towards different things. It's kind of like when PUBG came out and then Fortnite came out against it. Two totally different battle royales that kind of, they don't complement each other. The yin and the yang. Yeah. They're like the opposites. Yeah. But you've got, now that Apex is out, now we've got the battle royale space. It's down. We want to talk about, well, before we talk about Battlefield Battle Royale that just came out. But this card game, it probably is going to be closer to Hearthstone than it is Magic in terms of,
yes, it would be, and that makes sense.
Yeah.
But the template for how to do either or of those formulas is there.
Yeah.
They just have to manage to apply their intellectual property onto that formula and do it in a way that's compelling and at least sticks to enough of the formula that's familiar that people can hop in relatively quickly and get used to it, and then hope and pray that whatever mechanisms they have in place for unlocking cards and keeping people hooked on the game are good.
Yep.
Otherwise, treading water.
Yep.
I wouldn't shock me. April 1st comes around, Borderlands BR announcement.
Don't.
Just as a joke.
Just
as a
joke.
April 1st. It's April Fool's Day. That's my if they, unless they have already like denounced BR entirely, then maybe not. But if they haven't said anything yet, then April 1st meme would be Borderlands.
Can you imagine if they came out and said,
like, Claptrap come out and be like, hey, and then Claptrap jumps out of like a plane and it's just him going, ah, and then splash screen battle, I just gave him a dope idea. They should do that shit.
That is a good idea. I like that.
So yeah. Anyway, Borderlands. It has been a really long time. I think it's been like 6 years, maybe 7, since Borderlands 2. So it's time for a Borderlands 3. Obviously, if not for the community that's behind it.
I'm not hating on it. No. I'm actually happy that it's coming. And
get out there and do your thing.
Yeah, do your thing and disrupt this market, please.
Make it happen. Just make a good video game.
Make a video game I want to play.
Just make
Twitch has got that whole squad thing now going on. Maybe there's a Borderlands squad play you and I can play and cooperative it up if it's actually a good game.
Let's talk about Battlefield.
That game died on arrival.
It was dead before it even arrived.
Yes.
That shit was in the plane getting ready to drop and somebody shot it before the game even started.
Rip.
That shit super dead. I watched on that launch day. Obviously they paid Dr. Disrespect, a couple of the guys get out there and play the game. That game looks fucking terrible. It looks like it is stuck in the no man's land of wanting to be some weird hybrid of PUBG and some other shit, and just never gets anywhere or does anything. It's got one of the shittiest loot tables I've ever seen. It's got one of the worst fucking loot mechanics I've ever seen. The game, the time to kill is so fast that it's like, for a BR, it's almost too fast. And so a lot of the questions I see is like, or a lot of what I've seen people ask is, why would I play this and not just the regular Battlefield multiplayer?
Yes.
Because they're not giving me anything compelling about this mode that I don't already get, and better in the regular multiplayer mode.
Yes, where you can go up against many people. So
they're late to the party. They did a mediocre job. The launch wasn't hot. Nobody's feeling it. It's dead.
As soon as that money dries up for the streamers, gone.
Dead.
They are running away from it.
And dude, people are just scrubby. I watched Shroud play it last night. He won like 6 games in a row.
Well, it's fucking Shroud.
Yeah, but
did they pay him to play?
No, he was playing at the end of the day.
Oh,
it was like he just finished a bunch of Apex.
See, if I was Shroud, I wouldn't even play it. I wouldn't even play it simply because it's not like he needs the views. He's gonna get the Apex views.
Yeah.
I'd be like, listen, if you want me to play your fucking game, pay me. Pay me.
It's bad.
I'm
bro.
worth it. I'm not gonna put tens of thousands of people.
But here's the thing. He's already paid. Shroud making lots of money.
I know.
So at the end,
still,
at the end of the day, Shroud's going, I could get paid from this, and that's kind of cool or whatever. But I kind of just want to, like, if I feel like it, I kind of just want to make fun of the game.
I like that too. Yeah.
So it's like, I either get paid and I can't open my mouth and say this game is bad when it's bad.
Or I can play on it and shit on it, make sure it dies.
Do whatever I want with it.
Keep my Apex gold mine nice and fucking fat.
Maybe he should have taken an offer if he hasn't already been given one, because that elbow shatter that he's got.
Oh, I saw that.
Is a $30,000 medical bill. Shout outs to the American medical system,
dude. He makes $30,000 a day.
Well, obviously, but it's still $30,000.
Yeah.
You still
yes.
You see $30,000 leave your account.
Yeah, I
that
mean
hurts.
Not
and
really.
Apparently, that's the second time he shattered that same elbow.
Damn.
And will be getting surgery again. So maybe he should just stay off scooters.
I don't think it's the $30,000 bill that's hurting him. I think it's the fact of being in the hospital and surgery and staying away from the stream, which is costing him a lot more than $30,000.
It's true.
Probably costing him hundreds of thousands of dollars. That'll hurt. That'll hurt. The $30,000 bill is a what the fuck ever.
Dude, he only needs his arm to be good enough to hold out in front of him, and he fucking still wins games.
Dude, he could turn on his goddamn screen.
He's had a shattered elbow for 2 weeks, and he
still
won
fucking
6
people
games
up.
in a row.
He could use his other goddamn hand for the mouse and fuck bitches up.
If he used his dick at this point, it probably wouldn't make a fucking difference.
Wouldn't make a goddamn difference.
You know what pained me? Dude's like 24 years old or some shit.
He's a god. He's a god.
He was talking about how he's like starting to feel old, and I was like, dude, you are a multi-millionaire at 24 years old. Just soak it up, bro.
Fuck as many bitches as you can.
Fucking soak it up.
Just be a fucking
soak it.
Dude, the amount of dude, I'd be soaking up so much, I'd be walking around like a big fucking sponge. I'd be just soaking up I'd just be basically everything I touch would be soaked, including every panties that I walk by.
Bro,
Jesus.
You know what actually makes me the happiest, but other than Shroud's just a pretty good dude in general, is that his dad, long before Shroud was like a multi-millionaire, his dad has been behind his son doing this video game
Let's
thing.
fucking go, Dad.
From the fucking beginning. His dad builds computers. He's built every computer Shroud's ever
Let's fucking
used.
go, Dad.
And he's out there at every event fucking cheering his son on.
Let's go, Dad.
He's active on fucking social media and shit.
Let's go, Shroud Dad.
Shroud Dad's a fucking god.
Fuck yeah, dude. I'm gonna nurture my son too. I'm gonna be like, son,
go make me millionaire.
I'm gonna put him through the fucking sweatshop down here. If you playing fucking, he'll have 300 APM by the time he's 3. I want 100 APM per year. When you're 5, I want 500 APM. When you're 6, I want 600, motherfucker.
It's tracking your
Make
age.
Make me rich. Shoutouts to Shroud's dad holding it
fucking
down.
Killing it, bro.
Yeah, and now he's getting paid, bro.
Oh,
it's like if you're like LeBron's dad or some shit,
yeah.
and you're like, go, son, go. And now he's like LeBron. Now he's the LeBron of fucking games.
Absolutely.
He's Ninja without the cheese. Like he's like a Ninja if Ninja wasn't like fake, you know what I mean? Like
I don't think Ninja's fake. I think that's Ninja.
Well,
it's exaggerated a bit.
No. When I say fake, I mean Ninja just no longer speaks his mind. He just because
he can't because of sponsors.
The Ninja before the fame is the real Ninja. The Ninja after the fame, obviously.
Corporate gets involved, you have to.
I'd be the same way too.
Yeah,
but it hasn't gotten to Shroud yet.
No.
Dude, Shroud's huge. Shroud is bigger than Ninja right now in terms of numbers, in terms of subscribers, in terms of clout that's going on right now.
Does he have more subs?
Well, he took a screenshot of 100,000.
But I think
Ninja's not even showing it anymore. And I think the reason why he doesn't show it is because he's dropped so much that he just doesn't want to hear people fucking say that, oh, Shroud's got more of this.
I bet he's still pushing 200,000.
No, fuck no. Not on Twitch. He spends too much time off now. There's no way.
That's true.
He's traveled too much. He's doing. I mean, he's made so much money. He's doing his thing, which is what I would do too.
Red Bull sponsorship that just popped.
That's the money, right? The fucking subscribers these guys are making, $500,000 to $1 million a year, and $1 million a month.
How would you like $5 million?
The fucking Red Bull money's where it's at. Fuck the subscriber money. But for Shroud, he hasn't lost that Shroud yet, right? So when I say fake, I'm not saying it in terms of a Ninja doing anything bad. Fuck, he's doing what I would do too.
He's doing what everyone would do. He's doing it about as well as you possibly can.
When you're on in front of Sports Illustrated and you're fucking going on Ellen and shit, you gotta act a certain way. You just gotta do it, or those things don't come. But Shroud is like, he's just still the Shroud. He hasn't been. We'll see what happens in about another year when that dirty Red Bull money or the fucking Budweiser money comes or the fucking Samsung money comes or some shit. Then we'll see what happens then.
Does Shroud take that stuff?
I think so. I mean, I think you have to. What's the point of getting to the pinnacle of gaming and then not becoming a good ambassador for gaming? Like not being a good
some people don't want to be the ambassador.
I
right?
suppose.
And
that's the
Shroud,
Doc. Like if Doc got there, I don't think Doc would change, right? But I think that's also part of his gimmick. I think people would pay him to do what he does.
Like Shroud, yeah, if you're going to sponsor Doc, you have to know that you're getting a certain thing, right? Because it's a shtick.
Yeah.
You're getting Shroud, it's just Shroud.
Yeah.
And I don't know, Shroud's personality and his demeanor, he just kind of strikes me as the type of person who wouldn't want to shoulder that responsibility. He wouldn't want to be in his place.
Yep.
And he's already making just ass tons of money.
You want to know who the only person that Shroud needs to impress is his dad.
Let's fucking go.
Shroud just needs to keep his dad proud.
You know that dad's already proud as fuck anyway.
Oh my God, he's beaming, bro. He's beaming. I'm about to follow that motherfucker on Twitter.
He shows up in his chat and shit, and he's just talking with his son. I'm like, this is the fucking show.
Why not?
This is the goddamn Catalina wine mixer.
That's the dream, bro. Fuck a Red Bull sponsorship. Fuck a Samsung sponsorship.
Make dad proud.
Make dad proud.
Buy him a house.
Shroud dad proud.
Buy your whole family houses.
Buy him all houses. Fuck it. When you're making $1 million, $2 million a month at age 24, fuck it.
Fuck it.
You want a mansion? Fuck it. Here's a mansion,
Just
Dad.
buy it.
Thanks for coming to my games,
Just
Dad.
Fucking do it.
Fuck it. Buy him a house.
Here's a random thing that happened. Vampire the Masquerade getting another game in their franchise.
I don't even know what that is.
So the original one, I mean, it's been a long time. Shit, has Vampire Masquerade been 10 years now? It's got to have been close to that anyway. It's been a hot minute. It had a pretty big following, and it's coming back, but people are a little concerned about it because the folks at the helm are getting a little bit caught up in the PC culture deal. And Vampire the Masquerade was anything but PC. That shit was basically like R-rated Twilight. It's like, just raw blood, sex, and rock and roll.
Let's go. Vampires.
And now it's like...
It's Blade.
J-pop, pixelated vaginas, and dreams. That's where we're at now. So I don't know. But it kind of dropped out of nowhere. I think it's coming out next year. But we'll see how that pans out. We'll see how just how PC it becomes, because it's a game that if you go in that direction, I'm not sure how compelling it's going to be, but. There you have it.
Woo, baby.
Woo, baby. Warcraft 1 and 2 popped up on Good Old Games following Diablo 1, which is also on there now. So that's the thing. If you're interested, looking to pick up Warcraft 1 or Warcraft 2. Warcraft 2 pretty popular. Warcraft 1, Warcraft 2 is when it really started to
Warcraft 2 is good.
Get popular.
Yeah.
So that's an option for you. Good Old Games, who is kind of financially... this right now.
Okay.
So
be careful.
Maybe, be careful.
Yeah.
But
it's on there.
They could pull back. Other than that, I don't know what we've got for the gaming side.
I think we went through pretty much everything that there is to go through over the last week.
The majority of it. Just taking one last little look-see here. Well,
while Adam is looking, hit that like button if you guys are enjoying the podcast. It goes a long way. Obviously, share the podcast if you want to go that far. Share it on your Facebook, Twitter. Let people know with a friend, family member. Hit that like button. We're trying to get to 650 likes for this episode. We got over 600 last time, which helps out a shit ton. That's how you get discovered and go into people's suggested thingy bobbers on YouTube. It's a weird thing. Leave a comment, even if your comment is comment. I don't care.
Make it longer than comment.
Make it
comment.
Comment or comment.
That's true.
Add as many comments as you want to comment on.
Yeah.
And if you really want to take it a step further, you can become a Patreon supporter. It helps Adam and I continue to do
Sekiro.
Boom. Okay.
Super chat. Brandon, thank you.
Oh, coming in with the $2 super chat to let us know. To talk about that game.
I got a question for you. You don't need a super chat to follow this up. Did anyone ever call you Chicken Burger growing up? Because that last name, bro.
Chicken Burger.
That's an easy one.
That is an easy one. Okay, so
your thoughts, Jeff.
Sekiro.
You're that hoe over there.
I'm still playing the game.
Okay.
Yeah. What time is it?
No, we're good.
All right.
I think we're good. Yeah, should be.
All right. So I'll give my. I'm not going to get into crazy detail about it, but I'll say this: where the game falls for me is, above Dark Souls 2, which isn't hard. Oh man, and just below Dark Souls 3. So it's almost to the enjoyable level of Dark Souls 3, almost. Dark Souls 3 had, I'm not done yet, so that might change. Nowhere's near as good as Bloodborne. Nowhere's near as good as Dark Souls 1. But I was highly critical of the game when I was starting out because the first hour of the game-ish is actually, it's a beautiful looking game. I didn't play that Nihon game, so this whole sort of thing is new to me to begin with, so I didn't feel like I was replaying something that I played before. So I enjoy sort of the period piece, like where we're at, like the whole samurai shit and stuff like that.
It's a Japanese company doing very, very Japanese themes.
I like that.
Lore, or not lore, but
I like that.
Yeah.
So I like that part, but then what this game does that the other games in Dark Souls didn't do, or at least they did, but it didn't feel like it, is, and I've noticed this, I've watched a couple of other streamers play the bit of this game, is you fight a boss, or you're going from one boss to the next, but then you got to deal with all these mobs leading towards the boss.
Like every other Dark Souls
Like every other
game.
Dark Souls.
Yeah.
You fight the mobs, and let's hope that no more than two of them are locking onto you at once, because the combat for fighting more than two people at once, it's just not there. Just from control wise and how the camera and everything works, it's not a good experience for that. One-on-one, it's a great feel. But what I'm saying is, when you're going towards the boss and you fight everybody and then you get to the boss and die, they basically throw you all the way back to that old checkpoint. And now you got to go through all those people again. So basically what I've been doing, and what a lot of people have been doing, is they'll fight everybody leading up to the boss once to say they've done it. They'll literally say out loud, I'm gonna go through them all once to say I've done it. Once they do it.
You generally do it too, because when you're first through the area, you don't know where your next checkpoint is.
Yes.
And so you kind of
have to. But
Yeah.
you also kind of want to. You don't want to run through the game either.
No, of course, yeah.
And you want to look for things and stuff like that. But once you've experienced that, then at that point it becomes running from point A to point B over and over and over and over again. And the bosses aren't all that compelling. There's not much depth to them. They've got the same animations over and over again. Once you figure out how to dodge a certain attack or block at a certain time, it becomes super easy. I actually find that the RNG in this isn't very punishing. They're very predictable. As soon as you figure it out, it's just easy. The game is easy, but it becomes hard because you want to rush through everything because you're so sick and tired of the same shit over and over again. So you actually make the game harder, and you could make the argument that it's like that for every Dark Souls, but all the other Dark Souls games, it never felt like you wanted to rush through anything. Because the environment, the things you're fighting, it just felt more oomph. Like it just felt like you were doing stuff with purpose, and you weren't just running through shit to get through it. And that could be just maybe poor character design, like mob designs, poor environment designs. I don't know what it is, but it just makes me want to rush through it, and that's not what you want to do in Dark Souls games. You get punished for that. But I mean,
you do the running thing in Dark Souls.
You
as
do
well,
to an extent, but like, my God, like this game, it's really just. And what I don't get is there's some people that are like saying this is the best Souls game ever made.
Well,
and
they
I'm
say
like,
that about pretty much every Souls game that comes out in succession. So, with the exception of 2.
Yeah, well, yeah, I think that's universally known.
That was
as
the only
Gong
one
Show.
that when it dropped, people went, "This ain't it, bro."
Yeah, that's the only Dark Souls game I didn't beat. That's the only one I never finished. Was Dark Souls 2, and I got to the very end and said, "Fuck this game! Fuck this game." I'm gonna keep playing this game, and I'm gonna beat it because I'm a masochist, and I do like a challenging game because it is challenging, but it's not the hardest one, and it's not the funnest one to play. That's just where I'm at right now. And I will say the last session I had, the last 4 hours I played was much more enjoyable than the first 8 hours I played. So it's starting, and it's probably because I'm also getting better at the game as well. So it's becoming even easier. So I'm just kind of running through bosses and shit now. But maybe another 4 hours, I'll enjoy it even more. Maybe it just gets better and better. But where I'm at right now, about 12 hours deep, it's If I had to choose right now, if I could get my $80 back that I paid for the game, I'd take my $80. That's where I'm at right now. I'd take my 80.
All right. I'm getting ready to just take all the heat that I'm about to get for saying this shit because I'm just used to it now.
Let's keep it at 10. I'm giving you 10 minutes on the clock.
It won't run that long.
Okay.
So here's the deal about Sekiro. Is that Sekiro is one of the most frustrating experiences for a game I've played in a long time, but not from a difficulty perspective. In fact, I would agree with you, and I would say in general, is that Sekiro, despite the fact that I haven't beaten the game, Sekiro is probably the easiest Souls-like that has been made by FromSoft of any of them, and not by a small margin.
Yeah.
Sekiro is... This is how I describe Sekiro. Sekiro is, I'm going to try and keep it short. It's going to be difficult because you hit on a lot of points. You hit a lot of points that I want to talk about.
Well, I'll let you know.
I know we're on short notice. I know. So Sekiro is a fucking confused video game. Sekiro doesn't know what it wants to fucking do. It doesn't know if it wants to be Tenchu or if it wants to be Dark Souls. And nothing makes that more obvious than a couple of points relatively early on in the game. The first hour to 2 hours of that game, depending on the pace in which you play through it, is almost dedicated in its entirety to exposing you to Tenchu mechanics. The stealth mechanics that are now present in the game on top of the closer to Dark Souls combat that you get in a one-on-one experience when you're fighting enemies.
Yep.
It is prepping you very well. One of the best openings, the best opening any Dark Souls-like has ever had for using the environment and the enemies that you see up front to teach you game mechanics without having to show you a tutorial menu. In the beginning, I would say something out loud when I'm streaming it. You go back, watch my VOD. I'd be standing over top of a dude. Can I jump off this cliff and just stab a motherfucker in the head? Yes, I can. If I'm holding on to a ledge, can I just grab a bitch, pull him down, stab him in the neck, throw him off cliff? Yes, I can. Anything I said out loud, shit, I could do. It was just a thing. There was only one thing that cropped up that I couldn't end up doing, and that was, I think, I came up against a dude where I was hoping I could use my grapple to do something with it, and then it didn't happen. Otherwise, literally everything. And it was perfect because the level design was set up specifically for that, and I'm going to give him full marks for that experience.
Tutorial A+.
The problem for Tenchu. The problem is when you get into an area, this is how I describe Sekiro from a game design perspective. You have areas that are almost, and they're easy to tell, and you would know this too from playing it, that are almost entirely dedicated to playing it stealth. Then you get into another area, and all of a sudden you're playing Dark Souls. And then there are some areas that try and merge the two. The areas that are pure stealth or mostly stealth are great. The areas that are mostly Dark Souls are great. Where the game runs into issues is where it tries to do the areas that do both. Because those two mechanics in practice at the same time butt heads. And in both, you get the shittiest of both experiences, and it makes the game frustrating, tedious, in ways that Dark Souls isn't normally. And it made me hate the fucking game real quick, those areas. The other problem I have with it is that, and I could talk about, I talked about 2 hours on my stream about it, so I'm condensing this real hard. The other thing that I have with it is that the bosses that I have fought up to this point, just a handful, so there's lots I haven't fought yet, but I'm going to assume that they don't get that much different, are uninspired as fuck.
Oh, yeah.
You go in, and like you said, they've got 3 attacks, and that's the show. At no point in their health going down, pretty much, do they really change it up in any degree. And to make matters worse, some bosses are unrewarding even when you do figure it out and beat them. There's one boss I'll say specifically, without completely spoiling. You'll know which one I'm talking about. Chick who likes to jump up in the air and throw shit.
Yes.
Okay, pretty relatively early on in the game, depending on.
And apparently is the hardest for one. People are saying the hardest boss in the game.
Okay, so and that might be true depending on when you decide to take this boss on, but that boss, even when you figure her shit out, and when you get an attack in, there's no reward for it. You figure it out, you knock her out, you charge up, you attack, everything's blocked. But then when you just keep randomly attacking, you get rewarded randomly for like a little slice. Yeah. So when you're supposed to get rewarded for playing well, you get dick. And then playing it random fucking hanky-panky, little loosey-goosey, then all of a sudden you get little chips and shit. That's shit. Dog shit.
And the health on these fucking things, you do such little damage
just
so that you
bits.
have to just.
It's a slog.
It literally is it.
There was one boss I found really good, and it was coincidentally one of the first bosses in the game, because it actually made use of almost all the mechanics the game has on offer. That's Horse Bro. We'll call him Horse Bro. That's a firefight.
I fucked him up. He's so easy though.
Yeah, but the thing is, it's not about the fact that it's easy. Who gives a fuck if it's easy? It was a compelling fight.
Yes, it was. Yeah.
And it was another fight that when Brian and I were sitting on the couch, if you want to watch my VOD, and I said out loud, I wonder if you can do this. And it was another mechanic that I won't say here because it will spoil it, but sure as shit, it was an environmental thing, and you could fucking do it, and that's fucking badass. Flip side, that other boss we were just talking about, literally nothing.
Yeah.
Even when you figure it out, you get not rewarded.
Yeah.
Nothing is happening. It's long, it's drawn out, it's bullshit. The game is beautiful to look at. Incredibly good voice acting, at least from the Japanese side. I haven't listened to the English dub yet. Great soundtrack for the most part. Very well done as well. I'm giving them credit for actually delivering story in a way that isn't me reading item descriptions and put the puzzle together. But it is a confused game that when it focuses on one of the other mechanics, it does it well. But when they tries to do both at the same time, which is more often than not, it falls apart because it's two worlds coming together and they haven't figured out how to mesh them really well yet.
Yeah.
And I have beaten every Dark Souls game short of Demon Souls. At least once. And I've beaten expansions. I beat Artorias naked with a spear. It's not about challenge for me. I find the game frustrating and dull and unrewarding. So in Dark Souls, I could beat my head against a wall, like in Dark Souls 2, the brokenest fucking piece of shit in the entire franchise. And in the Iron Keep, and there was a boss that was optional. And he was one of the most broken bosses in the game because he'd hit you and you'd slide backwards into a wall and you'd get stuck in a texture and they'd just fuck you in the ass. You couldn't move. You were dead because you were stuck in a wall. Bang my head against the wall for hours against that guy. When I beat it, I still felt fulfilled because the fight, despite it being broken, was compelling enough for me to feel good about it when it was done. I don't get that with Sekiro. So I have nothing. There's no upside for me in Sekiro. It is neither a great Tenchu. It is not a great Dark Souls. It does neither of them well when it's put together. And on top of that, the bosses, the ones that I've fought, haven't been compelling. And if you're not going to grab me in the first 15 hours of the game with bosses, why am I going to push myself further to see if you've made compelling bosses another 20 hours deep into the game?
Well, the only reason would be is to get your money's worth, and because you're a masochist and you just want to say you've done it for the sake of doing it. That's pretty much it, and that's where I'm at.
It's a 7 out of 10.
I don't hate it. Oh, 7 out of 10. Yeah. That's where I'm at. 7 out of 10 so far. I don't hate it as much as you do, but I'm the type of guy that wants really challenging boss fights, and I haven't gotten that in the game yet. So hopefully, we'll get there at some point. But I'll definitely keep you updated because I'm going to keep playing the game and I'll beat it and let you know what I thought. But as of right now, Bloodborne is my favorite experience for a Dark Souls game, simply because I love the pace of it. I thought the bosses were really well done, and obviously like graphically wise and stuff. It was just really nice. And then if I had to go from there, definitely Dark Souls 1 is like, the cream. Holy shit, we got
That's $100 super chat coming in from Lexo. Let's go, Letso.
Wow.
Lex Luthor.
Lexo, let's go. Actually, I do believe, I don't know if we cast one of Lexo's games already.
It's possible.
We may have actually cast one of your games earlier today.
Bless.
The name seems very familiar. But damn, that's $100 super chat.
Let's go. He said, glad I stopped by for the podcast. Enjoy the 50s. Also, update your YouTube's Patreon link. I thought I did.
It should be updated.
Maybe I didn't. Bruno, he's probably talking about one on the homepage of the channel.
Oh.
That probably didn't get updated yet.
Oh.
And if you're wondering about the website, the reason why that hasn't been updated is because that website's going to get...
It's getting hauled.
Overhauled.
Yeah.
It's just that Nikki's a very busy dude. He also just had a baby.
Yeah.
And he's juggling a lot of things right now, so we're not pushing him.
No, it'll be... Hey,
it'll
look,
be done when it gets done.
Listen, we just got new overlays. We got a new camera set up. We've been casting crazy amounts of StarCraft.
It's the year 3019,
We're on
Jeff.
YouTube now. We've got a schedule.
That's right.
Hey, we're about to ship out all the fucking Patreon products.
It's coming.
Only can do so much.
I changed the name to Technical Beta, but it would cost us too much money.
Yes, it would.
Let's head on over to some movies and TV real quick.
Yeah, let's do that. First off, thank you again, man, for $100.
Fire.
That's the biggest super
Madman.
That's literally the biggest super chat I've ever seen on YouTube. I watch a fuck ton of podcasts that have that shit. I've never seen anything. I've never seen $100
That's
one.
because he's a god.
So thank you. Hit that like button if you guys haven't already. If you're enjoying the podcast, it really does go a long way. I'm just going to keep plugging that shit because that is what helps us grow here, that and sharing and leaving a comment. So there's 168 of you watching right now live. We got 136 likes. I want to see that hit 150 here by the time we are done the next segment.
Make the magic
We
happen.
want to get 650 likes on this podcast.
We're cranking them out with the likes in the last video too.
Over 600.
You guys are killing it.
Over 600.
Just killing it.
We're gonna work our way up to 1,000. We'll itch there.
That's right.
Movies and all that fun stuff. What do we got going on in the world of movies and television? Game of Thrones coming soon.
That's right. Soon.tm.
It's coming so soon.
Very soon.
I went and saw Shazam. Saw an early screening of Shazam.
Did you leave the theater going, Shazam?
No, I actually didn't do that once.
Oh, okay.
But I did leave it enjoying it way more than Captain Marvel. And I would say it's my third favorite DC movie.
Okay.
I would put my number one favorite DC movie is Wonder Woman.
Yep.
Number 2, Aquaman.
Yep.
Number 3, Shazam.
Okay.
And you know what? Depending on the moviegoer, they could easily put Shazam number 1 or number 2. Easily. The reason why it doesn't get there for me, and as much as I love the villain, I think the guy is amazing. The comedy in it was well done. I just found once he became the villain, like the actual, and he became the threat, and the hero and him met and did their first shebang, he became a very generic villain. Like he became a super generic
So like leading up to that, it was like, this is doing really.
Hey, you felt for him. You understand why he's doing what he's doing. There's a great horror element to it because the director is a horror movie director, so that was really well done. But once he became the villain, it was like all this great storytelling just went to like, he's just there just to push the.
So what you're saying is he's like every other DC villain that is outside of the Batman universe.
Yeah. Who is the main? Yeah. Yeah.
You get outside of Batman and show me a compelling DC villain.
Yeah, I mean, I guess like the other one would have been Zod in Batman or the Superman movie. I didn't mind him. But this is just a totally different feel. I love the direction that they're going. Shazam and Aquaman, this is their lane. They need to stay in this lane and just go there and just let Wonder Woman kind of be the more serious type of experience, because I'm loving this. Shazam was a good time. If I had to give it out of 10, 8.5.
Wow.
Simply because and with no spoilers at all, there is an actor in particular that was in this movie that I was like, whoa, I did not see that coming at all. And some people probably know who I'm talking about, maybe not. But wow. And when he was in this role, I was like, wow, this actually fits him really well. And I was pleasantly surprised.
Benicio del Toro showing up for a role where they're actually using him properly.
No, but it's different, man. The whole experience is different. It doesn't take itself serious. The comedy's good. It's just a good time. Shazam, 2 thumbs up. Go see it. It's a good time.
Great.
What other movie did I go see? I went and saw Us. Mr. Peele's new movie.
Yes.
Saw that a couple days ago. I won't get too deep into it because it just came out. It's fresh. I didn't like it quite as much as Get Out, but I still really liked it. And then when I went and watched an explanation YouTube video, I watched a few of them on what really went on. Like, there's a lot of it that I understood, and it gets you thinking. But man, when I was watching some of the YouTubers that really dive into the storytelling here and things picking up on things I didn't see, it makes the movie that much better. This is a movie that is going to get better and better with every viewing, and some of it isn't super clear, so that you can kind of make up your own sort of interpretation on what's really going on. And there's no, in my opinion, in certain aspects, there's no right and wrong answer. It's kind of like what you think. And there's so many different theories that it just makes it very compelling. Good movie. If I had to give it out of 10, I give it an 8 out of 10. So it was a good time. It's a good horror movie. It's got some comedy in it. The comedy's misplaced at times. Not saying that the jokes fall flat, just tonally speaking, I really love the horror aspect to it, and I wanted a little bit less comedy during the horror parts. Wasn't that it didn't work. I just, when it was scary, I wanted just more scare, but then again, there's a reason why it is the way it is. So go check it out. Also a good movie. In terms of other movie news, there was a leak for Star Wars, like a poster leak for Star Wars Episode 9.
Okay.
People are saying that it's fake. Mark Hamill came out and said it wasn't real, but then apparently Disney's been getting it taken down on certain sites and things like that, and it's a really weird poster. So there's that. We can talk a little bit more about that next week when things kind of cool down a little bit and we can see if it is real or not. And Star Wars Celebration's coming up soon, so we'll know more then. There was one other movie related thing that Avengers. So End Game coming out soon. I think it was Fandingo or one of these sites accidentally or purposely, who knows, put up that when they were setting up Endgame on their website to get ready to buy tickets and stuff like that, they put the runtime on there, and it said 3 hours 2 minutes. Somebody took a screenshot and tweeted out. They immediately removed it from the website. Marvel hasn't said anything, so people are thinking that they accidentally leaked out how long the movie is, because there's been rumor that it was going to be 3 hours. Then there was rumor that it was only going to be 2.5 hours. So now There's this 3-hour, 2-minute mark out there.
It's probably 3 hours and 2 minutes.
Yeah, but everybody's excited because they're hoping that it's 3 hours because they're like, fuck, give me 3.5 hours.
Go out with a bang.
Yes, just give me all of it, right? So
go out with a bang on a high note.
That's that, and then also they came out and said that the trailers we've been getting have been lies. So they've been
planting shit.
They've been using old footage from Infinity War, in other Marvel movies, and a couple of snippets and stuff from the actual Endgame. But apparently, nobody really knows what the fuck. Nobody knows what the hell's going on. There's so many theories going on with this movie. They think that Thanos is gonna die early on in the movie, and there's going to be a totally new villain, like a bigger, badder,
wave 2,
bigger and badder villain that's going to be going on. There's all kinds of fucking theories, man. I've been down deep in the hole of theories.
How many of the contracts for the people? I know there's a Black Widow movie coming.
Yeah, a Black Widow movie coming. I do believe it is a Hawkeye, not Hawk. Eagle dude.
Falcon. Whatever his name is.
Falcon and Black Widow TV series that's coming. It's one of the two. Maybe somebody in chat will say. Obviously, Spider-Man: Homecoming 2. That's coming. Black Panther 2 got announced. They don't have a date, but that obviously is coming.
Yeah.
As for what we don't know is going on, we don't know if there's going to be another Captain America because his contract is up.
Yeah.
Some people think that. And this isn't really a spoiler, it's just theory. But some people think that in this next movie, there's obviously going to be some sort of time travel.
Yeah.
Because in the preview, they show the new
suits. Yeah.
Which they think those are the suits that they use to go into that portal thingy. It's on the tip of my tongue. Somebody in the chat will say it. And so what they're thinking is they're going to have to go back in time, restart everything, but people think that they're going to go so far back in time that Captain America is going to stay frozen or something, and the Winter Soldier will be the one that actually becomes the Avenger, and then we'll get Winter Soldier. It's almost like Cap never existed in this
they have been kind
parallel.
of setting that up, right?
So I don't know. There's all kinds of weird theories going on, but everyone's worried about Cap because Chris Evans came out and he said,
so he's done after this,
he said
right?
he wrapped up, and it's been a pleasure being the character and so on and so forth.
Yeah.
That could have been a plant. They could have, got him to tweet that. His contract's up. We don't know if he signed on for other movies. There's all kinds of shit. They don't know if we're going to get more Iron Man, if Iron Man's going to die. We have no idea. And that's the beautiful thing. I want to know. I want to go in there, and I want to. Oh, and a Loki series is in the works.
Oh, okay.
So obviously Loki must be coming back, or I don't know if it's in the past
well, if I'm not mistaken, in the comics, this whole
quantum realm, yes, the quantum suits.
So in the comics, if I'm not mistaken, the whole Thanos thing gets reversed anyway. In terms of the universe getting fucked on.
Yeah. It has to do with the quantum realm. They're going to go back in time and do some shit, but who knows what's going on. I'm just excited. Give me over 3 hours. Give me all of the Marvel here. Sum it up all these years of movies. Just give me it. Give me it in IMAX 3D and give me
minimal
it raw.
Hawkeye, minimal Falcon,
minimal Black Widow, and give me all the Thor. Give me all the Iron Man and Cap.
Yeah.
Give me all of that. Give me all the Thanos.
Give me that shit.
Just give me all of it.
John Wick shows up at the end, fights Thanos.
Give me that too.
Kills him with a pencil.
Also, people are thinking, because now the whole Fox thing all happened, people are thinking that now the X-Men are going to be introduced into this movie.
Well, they're originally part of the Avengers anyway, aren't they?
Well, they mix around. I think there's in some of the comics, there's Wolverine and
exactly.
So people all think, and not only that, you look at Scarlet Witch and Quicksilver. Those guys are mutants. Those are literal X-Men.
Yeah, exactly.
Or from that.
Yeah.
They call them. I don't know what they call them in the Marvel. I forget now. Not New Mutants or. Fuck, man, I can't think today. But they call them something else because of the legality with it. But now they could call them all mutants.
Whatever
if
they want. Yeah.
Yeah. So the indifference, or I don't know what the fuck they call them shits.
Mr. Maximus Black.
Yeah.
Hit me up with the sound of tech support.
Tech support.
Pulsating rape developing titties asks, Do you guys play much golf? Got any tips for a beginner wanting to get better?
No, I haven't played golf. We used to play a fuck ton.
Every year.
All the time. And I always tell myself every year, I'm going to go out and play more golf.
So do I.
And I don't. I go to the driving range like once. And then that's the show, and I'm sore for like 3 days afterwards. I'm like, fuck.
Using muscles that you don't use unless you're playing golf.
But yeah, no, for me, like to get better, honestly, play lots of golf. Hit lots of balls, do lots of putts. The driving range, try not to like go on big golf courses. Like get on something small, par 3, par 4s, and play as much golf as you can.
Yeah.
That's pretty much it. Like that.
If you're really looking to like make this like a thing that you do for the rest of your your known adult life, you're looking for a way to like as a hobby or whatever. My only real suggestion would be get lessons early so that you develop good habits early, so that you're not fighting bad habits.
So you're not Magic Johnson
down the road. Yeah.
Yeah.
You don't want to be. You don't want to be trying to reverse some muscle memory shit that, you could have avoided a long time ago. That's kind of where I would put it. I'm just realizing something now as well. I think and this is completely, just do me a favor, Jeff. Open up your UR44 and see if the effects and compressor and everything is turned on appropriately.
Don't do it.
Because I bet you they're not. I'm looking at the input volume right now. I bet you that not only did we fuck up StarCraft.
Oh, boy.
Did
we fuck it all up today?
I think yours is fine, and I bet you mine.
Well, nobody said in chat, so we might be okay.
No, I didn't even look at it. I think it's buggered. Yours is probably your live stream EQ. Yep.
Well, we may as well just...
This whole week's a fucking write-off, boys. All right, well, it'll sound better and more normal next week. Both all of our StarCraft content.
This is what happens when we implement so many new changes in one day.
In 8 minutes.
It literally...
It was 8 minutes.
Yes. We'll be better next week.
Fuck.
Hey, next week is number 100.
That's true. 100's going to be... I'm not going to say smooth sailing. But we hope. But that's my thing, is just get lessons early to develop better habits early, so that you don't have to be Tiger Woods, but yeah, go and do that. Let's see here.
What other questions do we have here?
Well, I mean, this is...
Hey, the guy who gave $100 super chat.
Yes.
Do you have a question?
Yeah, if you want to ask a question, feel free.
Go ahead and ask a question. And Sly, thank you for the $1 super chat.
Yes, thank you, Sly. Duke asks, seeing how both of you have lived in detached houses for most of your life, I'm curious if you've ever considered or would consider moving into a nice condo or apartment instead. I think that's the reverse for you. You've lived in mostly townhouses or apartments.
Yep. From the age born all the way till I moved on Adams Street when I was 12 or 13, might have been 13 years old, 12. I lived in either apartments or townhouses or like public housing. So like, straight up lived like in the hood on public housing where it's like subsidized rent depending on how much each family makes.
Yeah.
And then we lived like in apartments. The townhouses up in Cowie Hill was pretty much the cream for us in terms of like actual, because those are actually condos. Those are condominiums. Technically.
Yeah.
And it wasn't until we moved on Adams Street that we actually moved into a house. Like, and we didn't own it. We just rented from my dad's boss. But I lived in apartments most of my life. The last two places that my parents had together were houses. And then the last two places that I lived currently were houses. Everything else were apartments. Even when Kayla and I moved out, we lived in apartments for 4 years.
Yeah.
So Adam's only lived in houses.
I've only lived in houses.
Yeah.
I lived in like a duplex.
Yes.
For 7 years or whatever. But otherwise, it's been I had one family home that was fully detached, and then 7 years when I moved out, living in that, and now I'm living with a buddy of mine on the top floor of his place, and we're sharing the living space downstairs, the kitchen and stuff. I hate apartments. There has not been a single apartment that I have been in that I felt like I was truly ever alone, because you constantly
well,
hear.
You're not.
You constantly hear.
Yeah, walking, banging.
There's
children.
There's never a I felt it was always difficult for me if I was like staying the night at somebody's place. Like even when I was in Toronto with Hun for a week. And it was just it was my nightmare fuel. I felt like I was never alone. I could never relax. I always felt like on edge all the time.
Hearing
and
people fuck.
I'm sure I could like adjust to it over time because it's something I wasn't used to.
Yeah.
But it's not something that I want to subject myself to if I don't have to.
Certain condos aren't as bad because there are condos that are very congested, but you can get condos that they're very spacious, or you even have like an entire floor to yourself and they're well built. But even if you don't mind being around, and some people love that. Some people love being around other people. So they like seeing neighbors as they come in. They like feeling connected in that way. Some people don't like to feel alone and remote. I prefer to be alone and have my own privacy.
Yes,
that's it.
I wouldn't but on the same side of things, I don't want a huge house either. Because we've talked about this before, is that if you have a huge house, you tend to end up filling it with shit.
Yes.
That you just don't need.
Yes.
And eventually then you just end up then you're like, oh, time to sell some stuff. It's a creating work and you just don't need any of that shit.
Yeah.
So there's definitely like a happy place in terms of the size of a house. And privacy and stuff like that I would go for, and then that's fine. When I lived in the duplex, it wasn't all that bad.
Even you only have one neighbor too.
You only have one neighbor, and so unless he was
crazy,
he was
like
having
making
like
noise
a lot of
or parties and shit,
which he did a lot early on. Like it wasn't like the end of the world, but the awkward thing was a lot of the bathrooms were on the shared wall. And so you're hearing their toilet flush while you're in the bathroom and shit. It's just kind of awkward. But otherwise, it was whatever. It wasn't really all that much the end of the world. Sharing like a back deck area was kind of awkward because if you don't get along with your neighbors, it's shit. If you do, it's fine.
Yeah.
It's great because you're talking to your neighbor. You're like literally like 3 feet from each other.
Want to have a barbecue neighbor? Sure, why not?
Sure, why not?
Yeah.
And you're there,
if you
right?
hate each other or they're smokers or they got a pet,
that's
you're just
bad.
like, shut the fuck up.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So I was lucky in that I had really good neighbors, but otherwise, no, if I can avoid it, relatively small house, not a lot of room. Like my parents' place is about as big as I'd ever want it to be. It's about 2,300 square feet.
Oh yeah,
is about as much like as for like a family. Like let's say 2 kids max, and the parents. That's as big as a house as I would want.
Yeah,
and I think that's the right size where you're not filling it full of shit.
Yeah,
you can still have your privacy.
Yep,
and you have like space for like a dedicated living room, for when guests are over, and like a rec room for the kids.
Yep.
And
that's like this place. I mean, I have a big house, but it's laid out in a way that it's not like super huge. Like the only reason why I got
individually big.
Yes,
but it's an open plan.
It's an open plan, and down here, this whole basement is just work.
Yeah.
So, I'm only down here when I'm working.
Yeah,
really.
exactly. Yeah.
So the rest of the house, there's only so much. So yeah, I mean, listen, condos, nothing wrong with the condos or apartment living if that's something that. If you're trying to ask, like, should you buy a condo, you should definitely try living in one for a year or something before actually buying it because...
See how much you enjoy paying condo fees.
Yeah, they're not fun. It is fun, though, when you don't have to shovel your driveway, you don't have to do any lawn work, you don't have to, you got a gym downstairs, you got a...
Condo fees are steep, though.
Oh, bro, they're insane.
It's like you're renting an apartment,
yes.
but then you're renting a second apartment on top of that.
It's basically like paying property tax every single month. That's literally what it is, and they ain't cheap.
So it's a bit hit or miss, but some people like it, some people not. So if you have the opportunity to do it short term to try it out first, give her a whirl.
Yeah.
Otherwise, no.
Sly with the super chat. He asked, Love, Death, and Robots. Have you seen it yet? I've heard so much good things about it.
Yeah.
Helly's been bugging me to watch this. I just haven't had time. So that's going to be the next thing that I watch for sure. I've been hearing nothing but incredible things about it. So when we do watch it, I will let you know via the podcast.
We got time for one or two more, I guess.
Yep.
Will asks, if the streaming thing hadn't worked out for you, would you rather work as a low-level grunt making a comfortable living with little pressure for achievement or advancement, or a low-level manager making a bit more money while dealing with the executive manager's scrutiny, keeping your team honest and motivated, and competing with other managers for the small chance to climb that corporate ladder?
The second one. Absolutely.
Yep.
I would deal with listen, there's nothing wrong with doing the grunt work and just going in, doing your job, going home, making a good living, and calling it a day. That's the life that many people, well, you know what? I'm going to go out and say something that, some people may or may not agree. That's the life that many people fall into because it's easy, or it's easier. It's sort of the easy way. But also when they are in that position, they wish they weren't in that position. It gets old. They're like, fuck, man, if only I had this or only I had that.
Some people really don't want that responsibility, though.
Well, that was my other thing.
Yeah.
Is if you are a super laid back person, you don't, you're maybe it doesn't mean you're lazy or you're not ambitious, but maybe that part of your life isn't one that you want to particularly excel at in terms of fighting that corporate ladder and fucking going on the grind and doing all the shit that those people typically have to do, because honestly, it's just different types of bullshit you got to deal with. You're going to deal with bullshit one way or another. But if you're one of those people, then absolutely, there's nothing wrong with being a man or a woman and going in, doing the grunt work, taking care of your family. There ain't nothing wrong with that shit. But for me personally, I'd be on that grind to climb that corporate ladder because being the boss is better. And usually most bosses have bosses, so that's just the way she goes. Got to suck the right dicks, not physically. Well, maybe sometimes physically.
Sometimes you might have to suck some dicks.
Actually have to suck some dicks.
Yeah.
But, figuratively speaking, suck the right dicks, put in the time, work hard, and then hopefully be rewarded for the hard work. That's where I'd be wanting to go, personally.
Lex got his question in here. He said, would you guys ever do a series about StarCraft 2 custom games? I'm a really big fan of Dark Revenant's Mafia.
The answer is no.
Yeah.
Mainly because there's no viewership for that sort of stuff. Be very minimal, and the people that would watch it are just people that are going to watch our stuff regardless. And there's no point in adding more. That would have been something years ago. That probably would have been a better idea when the game was much more popular.
Yeah.
But no, the answer's a hard no.
Yeah. It adds a wrench to the system that is already running on three wheels anyway.
Yeah.
But
it'd be a little bit different if you were featuring certain new custom games that came to the market and you just want to play them and test them out so that people can see and give it a review.
But how many people are really watching?
Nobody's searching that sort of stuff. Yeah.
So it would be a bit much for us to
we'll see what
that.
happens when Warcraft 3 comes out, though, because the customs on Warcraft 3 are great. But
you never know.
Who knows?
Last one. We'll make this the last one, and it's an easy one. It comes in from Mr. Stars. Hey, Jeff.
Yeah.
If you could stop sitting on your knees, would you?
Oh, fuck. Yes. Yes, I would, because it hurts all the time. It's a bad habit. It's terrible. It's fucking terrible. The answer's yes. A hard yes.
Gotta make that effort.
I'm telling you, it's hard. It's tough.
You're blowing your knees out more than they already are.
No, they're gone. The left one is gone.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, what a gong show of a day it's been here production-wise, but hopefully when I, pull some strings here at home for the RSS feed, and hopefully even on YouTube it didn't sound too bad.
Well, it couldn't have sounded that bad because people in chat would have been like, what the fuck?
Yeah, exactly.
So, we're okay.
Yeah, we might have just pulled off a miracle.
Next week, it'll be better.
Next week we'll be back with it better than ever.
Yes.
But we managed to make it happen. Once again, guys, thank you so much for stopping by.
Thank you guys for the love today,
too.
Huge
love. Head on over to patreon.com/lagtv to be able to join the community there. If you want to do it for for the podcast, or maybe you want to get involved in the StarCraft side of things, or maybe you're a little fan of both, it's a great way to do it and help support us and help continue to be able to produce this content.
Let's just be real, guys. If we don't have the support, then we don't do this. Like, it's not that we don't want to. It's just we'll physically not be able to do this anymore. Like, that's just it. Like, it'll be literally, the Patreon is quite literally a big chunk of my monthly income.
Yes.
So, like, it'll get to the point where if we're not getting support, then we're gonna have to work.
But we're on the good trend. We're on the upswing.
We're on the fucking
so you guys
up
are
and
killing
up.
it.
So listen, even if there's no more love from here on out, when we stay here, I'm a happy man. I'm a damn happy man.
That's right.
But one more.
All right.
But thank you guys so much, man. We appreciate it.
Incredible.
Hit that like button.
Yes.
Hit it.
Smash it. Smash the like button. We'll see you guys next week. Thank you very much. It's been a Technical Alpha Podcast. And until we see you then, peace.